Okay, on Sunday, there'll be it's called March for Australia. It's happening across the nation, and of course it's happening here in Perth as well. There will then also be, as we understand it, and we're going to get confirmation of that in a minute, a counter protest to what the arguments are by the people who have organised March for Australia. There's a group called Our Future, Our Hands, and we'll talk to them as well. First up, though, the Police Commissioner, Col Blanch, certainly yesterday said that police will be on top of this issue to make sure that peace ensues. Take a listen to the Police Commissioner, Col Blanch.
We're in contact with the organisers. They have been granted a permit with very strict conditions. They are working closely with us. We're actually happy with the organiser wanting to have a very peaceful march. We would agree with that, but we will hold them to the rules of the permit, and we have enough police resources to make sure they do exactly that. Anyone wants to step out of those rules or outside of that permit, they will face the full force of the law. Any counter march, and again, the way we plan for protests is that we plan for everything, and then we de-escalate if necessary. If there is a counter march or there is conflict, they are also subject to the conditions of that permit, and we will hold everyone to account there if they want to show any sort of disorder, commit any crime. WA Police will be there in numbers to shut that down immediately. Well, look, I think what we should need to say is we prepare for everything and anything. Now, I would much prefer that it's a peaceful march. And I must say, in WA, we are very fortunate to have mostly peaceful marches all the time, not like what we see over east. And that's why I actually do think the organiser of the march this week, like the organiser of many protests in WA, they do engage with police, and they also want a peaceful march. Let's hope we have that this weekend. Every protest, we undertake a risk assessment. A permit is not necessarily about our belief in any ideology or otherwise. It's about risk to public safety, and in fact, blocking roads and things like that. That's what that permit's about. It's about safe passage for protesters. If we know there's a risk, we'll add extra police and we'll be on the lookout for disorderly or criminal behaviour. It's as simple as that. And in criminal behaviour can include prohibited insignia, things like Nazi symbols. They go up, they're gone. It's over.
There you go. That's Police Commissioner Col Blanch laying out how he expects this particular weekend to go. And of course, there will be a lot of police officers brought into this to make sure, particularly, that the two counter-protests, as he called them, do not clash. Now, Rod Caddies is a One Nations Upper House MP. He plans to speak at the March for Australia on Sunday at around 1 o'clock when it begins, and he joins me on the line. Hello, Rod. How you going?
Yeah, hi, Gary.
Okay, so the pamphlet that I've seen, it says it's time to take our country back, it's time to defend our heritage, it's time to defend our culture. Why are you taking part in it?
Oh, I think, there has to be voices that will keep a level head, and I'm not sure, it's been very much a groundswell movement sort of. I don't think this has been an organised thing like an organisation where they have people in each state. It's just been people putting their hands up. So I just felt it would be good when I was spoken to about it, and I rang and spoke to the organiser. Well, when I say the organiser, the person who's put their hand up to help out and organise the event, to see what it was all about, what the plan was, to even see whether I wanted to be involved. So I just thought it'd be a good idea to bring that voice there to make sure that that's a positive day and the right outcomes happen.
Does that mean you have some concerns that it could get, and I know you're quoted in the West Australian newspaper talking about getting hijacked by voices that you would rather not hear?
Yeah, well, there's always that possibility on both sides of the political spectrum. You know, you've got people on their marches where people point out about having Islamic flags and all that type of thing. There's always going to be people on either side of politics that makes one side of, makes people look bad. And I think the more we have people there that are respectful and are doing it for the right reasons, then you're going to eliminate that. And I'm the sort of person that will call that behaviour out. If I'm at the event and I speak, there won't be any of that while I'm standing there, in the sense that I will call it out, because I don't think it's needed.
So let's just be clear then. You don't support neo-Nazism?
Oh, not at all. To be honest, some of these characters' names and different people have been thrown around were attacking me in the lead up to this election, because I had, you know, whether it be Indians or Iranians or whoever we had running for us as candidates, I was getting a lot of pressure from that neo-Nazi type groups were attacking me as the leader of One Nation, saying, what are you doing having running, you know, Indians? What are you running these people? And I'm going, these people are citizens of our country. They believe in what we stand for, and they have as much right as anybody else to run as a candidate for us, and as long as they align with our values, then I love having them there.
I'm talking to Rod Caddies, who's a One Nation's Upper House MP and plans to speak at this rally on the weekend. But what happens, Rod, if you're standing there on the stage and you look out and you can tell that there's, 10 blokes dressed in black who clearly are espousing Nazi views? What would you do then?
I guess there's not, you don't, it's not like I have authority to do anything to them people, but I can call them out and saying, when I have my speech, I'll be saying I don't think people that come to a rally or to any function that are looking to target immigrants or target people specifically in a negative way, they're not welcome there. I'd be saying that on stage. If you're saying if I seen them there, I'd say you guys out there are not welcome. But they would have to be doing something. Anyone that wears masks and comes in black clothing and all that, I think you already know they're looking to create trouble. If you're wearing masks, it's a bad move straight up.
So on the morning program, Nadia Mitsopoulos was talking to someone from the ABC Verify project that we have, and they were certain, from what they'd verified, that one of the organisers is someone who does espouse neo-Nazi content and talks about his Bible being Mein Kampf, for example. Does that worry you?
Oh, I don't like hearing that, but that doesn't... When I know different people that names have been getting talked about to speak there, that person that you're talking about, and I seen that Verify, and I seen he responded with saying that it's a satirical account, and so who knows whether it is or isn't. The truth is he isn't. I don't think he's even speaking. I think he's just put his hand up to help get all the stuff organised, the speaker systems, get the permits through and all that. But that's why I'm not about that. I'm about speaking about the issues that we have, and that's why I'm saying the more voices we can bring to this day to make sure that it is promoting the things that actually people, every day, conservative Australians care about and actually come with a good outcome, the better. So...
Okay, so just, I mean, we won't dwell on it for a long time, but I'm just keen to know then, what's the number one message that you think should be put across at this particular rally on Sunday around immigration, for example?
Well, for starters, we shouldn't be targeting migrants as an issue. The problem is government decision. These people, Australian citizens, they've been invited into this country and have a right to be here and stay here. If I was in another country, I'd want to come here too. It's not the migrants' fault that our hospitals and our schools and our justice systems are broken. It's the fault of the government bringing in too many people too quickly when our infrastructure and services can't support it. They are the problem, not the migrants themselves, but the government making these bad decisions.
So the quotas, you think that the immigration quota, the net migration intake, you're saying that needs to come down or be stopped? Well,
I mean, I would say put a pause on it for a while, apart from key people we need, for specific, because they say they target, they're letting in people, skilled migrants, but the truth is when you dig down deep into that and you look at the numbers of how many actually come here that are in the building trade and, the people we really need to sustain our housing, our doctors, nurses, all these things, it's nowhere near the numbers we need in that area, but we've got so many other people that are coming here in areas of trades and stuff that we don't really need.
Right.
And if you look at the list of who they allow in. There's things like yoga teachers and cafe workers and like cafe managers. So shouldn't be just allowing thousands of people in that we don't need, but targeting skilled migrants. So yes, we need to slow down immigration, cut it back down to a net zero, so we're not bringing in more people, catch up with our infrastructure and services.
And I'll just finish with this, Rod, and get your reaction. A lot of the people that are behind or getting involved in this rally don't like a certain type of immigrant coming to Australia. Do you accept that?
I don't know that I'd say a lot of people. I would say there's a cross-section of society that, like you said, the neo-Nazi people, there's little groups, but I think they're a minority. I think decent, hard-working Australians that do with immigration aren't about that. They're not worried. That's not their target. Their target is when they have to sit at a hospital at emergency for 10 hours, 12 hours, when our schools are overflowing, our roads are overflowing. I think the people that really we need to be listening to is the majority, the people that actually have that as an issue. Not many of our friends, everyone I know that's conservative around me, all my friends, they don't have a problem with migrants. They have a problem with the number of migrants they're allowing in.
Rod Caddies, thanks. And I mean, let's hope that whatever takes place on Sunday remains peaceful. Appreciate you joining us.
No problems. Thanks, Gary.
Okay.
You're with Gary Adshead, streaming live on the ABC Listen app and on your smart speaker.
On 720 ABC Perth.
As I said, so while the people who are marching for Australia, as they put it, gather in Supreme Court Gardens and march, I think, to Forest Place, there will be another group nearby who are sending a message that they support migrants and want migrants to feel welcome and safe in the country. They're calling themselves Our Future, Our Hands. Storm is one of the organisers. Hi, Storm.
Hi.
Okay, why are you doing this? Because clearly when there's a group protesting and they want to get their message across, it could get heated if nearby there's a group with another message.
Well, we're doing this because we believe to protect community safety, we can't let Nazis be marching into the street because, one, their messages are violent, their messages of mass deportations and Australia for the white man are inherently violent and will lead to people getting hurt. And secondly, they could be a direct harm for the community. So the reason we're really here is because our message is blame landlords and CEOs, not migrants, because fundamentally, if we're going to be deporting anyone for causing the housing crisis, it's these rich people who are exploiting us, who are stealing our wages, raising our rents to unbearable stuff, all for the sake of money.
And what do you say when Rod Caddies believes that part of the problem around a lack of housing, pressure on hospital systems, is down to too many people coming into Australia?
Well, firstly, there was a spike in immigration during COVID because just after COVID, they had a backlog. Net migration has been going down. And the other thing is, I'd argue that's a failure of the government. We should be investing more in hospitals then. Our government should be looking after all its people. So blaming immigrants for something which they're not the fault of, and also we're all immigrants. Anyone who's not Indigenous is an immigrant. We all came here, our ancestors at some point. So we can't blame immigrants for anything other than colonisation.
The gathering on Sunday that you're organising, are there rules of engagement in terms of how peace will be kept? Because police might have to get in between the two groups. Let's hope that doesn't have to happen. But what are you saying to those who are going to come as part of your rally?
Yeah, we're saying we aren't going to confront the Nazis violently because that's just playing into their narrative. It's giving them what they want, which is media. All they really care about is media stunts to grow as a group when they're cowards fundamentally. Like, they do their stunts at 3 a.m. in the morning. They last 3 minutes and then they run off. Like, we're not going to feed into their narrative, so we won't be attacking them because it does not benefit us. We will be protecting community, and we will protect ourselves if the Nazis start attacking us, but we will not initiate violence. We will protect our community, which we're doing through this protest as a whole, because we're saying migrants are not the issue. The issue is greedy corporations. Even the organizer, one of the organizers on the Facebook event, Hugo Lennon, he's the son of a property developer whose company brags about having 30,000 unused houses land banked. That's a bragging thing. If a family of 4 were to live in each of those houses, that's 120,000 houses. If migration is an issue, I don't think it is. But there are much bigger issues we should be focusing our attention on.
All right, like I said when I was speaking to Rod Caddies, let's hope that it all does go peacefully and people have their say and then get on their way. Thank you very much for joining us, Storm. Storm there as part of the Our Future, Our Hands. They will be in reasonable close proximity from what we can tell in terms of where they've been allowed to gather. But like I said, let's hope it happens peacefully. What I do know is that the police force are certainly taking every step they can to make sure this happens without incident. So there you go. We're going to come back. We're going to talk sport with Clint